What's up, FA Nation? Welcome to another edition of 5 on 5, and I'm your host. That's right. I am your host for today, Jen Piacenti, and guess who is in the hot seat? None other than the RotoBuzz guy himself, Howard Bender. Howard, how are you today?
Hello, Jen. I'm actually doing really well. Been a mildly good day. How about that? Mildly good day. I haven't caught the coronavirus.
Good.
So I'm feeling all right. How are you?
I'm great. You know, I'm wondering though, how are you feeling about being on the opposite side of this? I mean, I kind of have the power here today.
And
I
I'm
can ask
fine
you
with that.
anything.
Anything you want.
And Howard, if this goes well, maybe we'll do it again. Maybe I'll take requests from those out there in the Twitterverse. This could get really fun.
I'm 100% all for it. I let Adam Ronis run the show for my Meet the Family. I thought it was only fitting that you ran the show here for the 5 on 5. I'm ready to go. All
right.
I'm loose. I'm anxious. What do you got for me?
Well, you know how this works, right? Because you made up the rules.
Why don't you
right?
tell everybody how it works?
Okay, so this is how it works. I'm going to give Howard 5 different topics. He is only allowed 5 minutes. In those 5 minutes, he can say or do anything he wants. But when the 5 minutes are up, he's going to get a buzzer sound. And it may sound something like this, or it may sound something like this. We don't really know. But the important thing is he has to stop on the buzzer. Now, if he doesn't talk long enough, then he opens up the floor up to yours truly, and I get to ask him even more questions. So, Howard, are you ready for this?
I am 100% ready for this. I'm anxious. What do we got?
All right. Here we go. So let's go. Here's your first question is going to be, all right, I want a hot take. So last year in the NFL draft, it was a big surprise for Daniel Jones to go to the Giants. What's going to be the surprise of the draft for 2020? You're on the clock.
If we're looking at it as a surprise in the sense that the Giants and everybody thought that they reached to make that happen, you know, it's kind of funny. There's rumors going around in the NFL draft analysis of who's looking to move up, who's not looking to move up. The funny thing is, I mean, there are a couple of teams who are vying for a quarterback and looking at that sort of thing. But, you know, I see a lot of the running backs going into the second round, third round. I only see it's a very deep wide receiver class. So I only see, 3, maybe 4 of these wide receivers, like a Jerry Jeudy, a Henry Ruggs, or a CeeDee Lamb as being the guys, who are going to end up going early. Then you look at guys like Justin Jefferson as a possibility later on in the draft. I think what a lot of people are on right now as far as the big hot take is that the Patriots picking late, they've kind of been linked to Jordan Love. And it's kind of funny that they're linked to Jordan Love. I don't necessarily know. I mean, I was talking with Craig Mish the other day about Jordan Love. I was looking at his game log and the way he kind of fell back from last year. So I don't necessarily know if that's the one. If you're looking for just a hot take, what's going to happen? I'll tell you what. How about this? How about the Miami Dolphins, who have been tanking for Tua all year long? How about that they don't end up with Tua? How about the fact that they don't have a deal that's strong enough to get the pick from Detroit at number 3, that the Chargers come in, they trade up, they end up grabbing themselves Tua at number 3, leaving maybe Justin Herbert for Miami, or maybe the Miami just has to shift gears around the entire way. Now, if you want to get even crazier, how about this? How about the Dolphins? They still tank for Tua. He falls to them at number 5. How about the Chargers make that move? They trade up to number 3 and they take Justin Herbert, because there are a lot of people out there who are saying that it's very possible that Justin Herbert goes before Tua, because with the whole coronavirus shutdown, the workouts that didn't get to happen, the medical checks that need to happen a second time around, or that usually happen a second or even third time around, those happen. Or those didn't happen, and the Chargers end up saying, well, we still want our guy, but we're not so sure whether or not Miami is really all in on Tua. They both have the needs. So I think the hot take is that the Chargers trade up ahead. They get Tua, and it screws Miami, and they're forced into a Justin Herbert move or whoever else they want to, maybe look later on in the draft for. Or the even hotter take, sizzle, 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 is that they do still get Tua because Chargers do something crazy, trade up with Detroit for number 3, and walk away with Justin Herbert, their main guy.
Now, there were some reports out yesterday saying the Patriots are paying a lot of compliments to Justin Herbert. You think they're doing a little behind the scenes, pulling at some strings, trying to get some things moved around?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think if Justin Herbert were available, I think he's the type of guy that Belichick would definitely make that play for. I don't necessarily know. I mean, to me, if they were to trade up, I don't necessarily know if they have the value to trade up. Usually when you look at a team like the Chargers, they can give a couple of picks away. I think that the Patriots are in such a need to rebuild that they're going to have to hold on to their picks. Not to mention the fact I don't know what else they've traded away. So I feel like if they could get Justin Herbert, I think it'd be a long shot. I think Jordan Love is definitely a better possibility for them. But I mean, again, I could even see them passing on Jordan Love for his performance and grabbing a guy like Jacob Eason late in the draft. I think the Patriots pick, I don't know, 30th or 29th, 28th, somewhere in that neighborhood. I could probably tell. 23rd.
Oh, no. Don't waste your time. Go ahead.
I was just going to say 23rd pick. That was it. That was all.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, listen, I don't think Justin Herbert falls that much, but because I do feel like you've got other teams who are in more of a need of quarterbacks. And I think that with Joe Burrow going number 1, it's Tua and it's Herbert as the top 2 alternatives.
Do you think if they make that trade, Detroit still ends up with Okudah?
It's possible. I mean, if they were to, I think Okudah could slip to them at what they would do if they traded with.
Sorry. Okay, that was good. I know. We had so much more to talk about, but I guess we'll have to save that for another sports talk episode. How you doing? You having fun?
Okay, I'm all right. Okay. Feeling good. Feeling loose.
All right. I feel like you're feeling good now. We have a really fun question coming up. You ready?
All right.
Howard Bender, I am giving you your own bar. You are the bartender. It's your bar. Okay. Let's name the bar. Let's call it the gym. That way, when people go, they won't feel guilty. They can be like, I'm going to the gym. The people who go a lot, it'll be awesome. We're going to Howard Bender's bar, the gym. And I want to know the top 3 things that are going to get you to toss me out of your bar.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of easy. Well, first of all, the gym, I'm allergic to the gym, Jen. So even if I were to name my bar something that I'd be allergic to, I don't want to be like, hey, honey, I got to go to the gym. No. I don't know what I would name it. I don't know. But I will say this, that it's very, with 20 odd years of experience behind the bar, This is actually a super easy question, and I'll try to stretch out the 5 minutes, but I don't even know if I can.
It's okay if you can't, because I
Number
have more
one,
questions.
Anyone who talks religion or politics, bye-bye. I've seen it so many times. You've got politics, you've got religion, and the people who sit there and who like to talk about both are usually more on the fanatical side. And I'm sorry, but they're going to try and change this person's mind. This person's going to try and change their mind. And it never happens. You have so many arguments that happen, hurt feelings, fights, everything like that you've seen strictly from politics or religion. So that has always been a policy at my bar. And I've told people flat out, I'm like, listen, guys, and it's kind of like, did you remember the movie Sleepers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they, when the 2 guys are sitting there, at McHale's and they turn around, they tell the bartender to tell the 2 suits to shut up because they're talking politics at the bar. And the bartender goes over, he's like, oh, sorry guys, no religion, no politics. It's, it's policy. That's a truth for me. And that's basically how I was. So that's number 1. Anybody who gets aggressive with another customer.
Ooh, okay.
Like, guy, girl, and the guy gets aggressive, girl yelling or whatever, and a guy like immediately, that has always been my cue to come out from behind the bar, go to the other side, and diffuse it immediately. And if it's not diffused immediately, then one person is immediately tossed, and it's the person who I feel is the more aggressive. Doesn't matter male or female. Doesn't matter. I don't care about race or religion or anything like that. Whoever seems a little bit more aggressive or possibly even a little bit more inebriated at that point, that's the person who's getting the boot. Third person who gets the boot all the time, I give you like a 3-strike policy. Maybe it's more like a 2-strike policy. Anyone who calls me chief, sport, bucko, ace, champ, like if that's how they're calling me over, like, I mean, I would rather, I'd rather this or that than to somebody be like, hey, yo, Ace, why don't you get over here and pour me a beer, huh? Like that. No, sorry. My name is Howard. You can call me sir if you like. You can say Mr. Bartender if you will. But anybody who sits there and gives me one of those, like, just generic nicknames because they're too inconsiderate to actually turn to somebody and ask them what their name is. People ask me all the time behind the bar. They're like, hey, what's your name? I'm no problem telling you my name. You can address me as such, and we go from there. But don't be calling me champ, sport, ace, chief, hombre. I got a buddy of mine. We go back and forth with him the entire time. It's like one of our birthdays, and like immediately it's happy birthday, sport, happy birthday, ace, because we know how much it just aggravates us. So I think that's what it is. Talking religion and politics, being aggressive, using the sport, ace, chief, champ, bro.
All right, well, let me ask you this. Let's say someone asks you what your name is and you say it's Howard, and then they decide to abbreviate your name and call you something like Howie. How does that go for you?
If she's a cute girl, somewhere in the 21 to 25 range, she'd call me Howie. That's fine. I'm a 50-year-old overweight man. So you know what? If that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. Now, if it's like some 40-year-old dude who's like, hey, Howie, get over here, I'm going to correct him. I'm going to say, please, it's Howard, not Howie. So, listen, I've got different rules at the bar.
Okay.
And I
all
can't,
right. There's a sliding scale. All right.
100%.
All right. So let's say someone comes into your bar and they're wearing like a Cowboys jersey and they order a mojito. Can they stay?
They can stay. They're not going to get, beautiful service from me. I'll sit there and I'll be muddling their mojito and I'll just be staring at them. Dak Prescott's going to hold out. You guys suck. That's the worst jersey. What, did you lose a bet? Somebody's making you wear that? This mojito sucks. I hate doing this. And then
this is your workout. This is the gym.
Right. Yeah, that's what I want. I want one Popeye
forearm. We were going to get one pop. We could have gone into Popeye. We just don't have enough time in these 5-on-5s.
Okay.
All right, let's move back over to sports because I'm sure that's what everybody really wants to talk about. Let's say the MLB moves forward with the designated hitter scenario in this divisional realignment. Who are the top players that get the biggest bump from you?
Man, I love this one. I love this one because I love the universal DH. I think it's so stupid to have pitchers hit. Listen, we've got specialties for everything. We do. I mean, let's face it. You've got guys who are groomed to pitch, and that's where they make their money. Do I want to see, a pitcher? Do I want to see Garrett Cole, $324 million? Do I want to see him get hurt running the bases? No, yes. I don't want to see that. Oh, don't be like that. All right, well, I'll use somebody else. Let's talk Lance McCullers. How about that? No. We want to see him re-injure his elbow while he's swinging a bat for no reason whatsoever. So for me, I like the whole universal DH belief. And anybody who saw Randy Johnson take a step into a batter's box should also agree that it is the most unnatural looking thing that you can possibly see. So, all right, National League players who I think benefit the most. Austin Riley of the Braves.
I like
I
that.
know he's battling back and forth with Johan Camargo. Camargo's the better defender, and Snitker wants better defense there. I think so. Austin Riley could be a very, very suitable DH for them. For the Mets, how about Yoenis Cespedes, right? He's missing that whole first half of the season that we expected him to miss. I'll take him instead of him shagging down fly balls or diving or going up against the wall or something like that. Just let him DH. He still has great power, and I think that he could be an asset. Justin Smoke for Milwaukee, because you've got Ryan Braun, who's supposed to be going back and forth with first base or the outfield with Avisel Garcia. So I think that Ryan Braun will then just he'll end up DHing, which will put Justin Smoke as the everyday first baseman. I love that. I see you looking, so I got to speed up. Garrett Hampson, Colorado. Him and Ryan McMahon, that whole platoon that's going on right there. Could one of them end up DHing? I think that's really going to end up being the spot where they could do that. I think they're both younger, better than worrying about Ian Desmond. And then finally, how about Jake Lamb? Let's bring me back Jake Lamb for Arizona. Obviously losing his job to Eduardo Escobar for defensive purposes. They were talking about him playing first base, but now you've got a guy like Christian Walker. You bring the DH in there. Jake Lamb, I think, is a guy. So Riley, Cespedes, Smoke Hampson, and Jake Lamb.
Those are really good answers. And what do you think about AJ Pollock? I know. You should
AJ Pollock just be in the starting lineup anyway.
Probably
just be there.
But it could be Jock Peterson. Does that mean that AJ Pollock will be in the starting lineup and Jock Peterson will move to DH? And if so, do we have an option for another power speed guy, which is something that we all need? I think that would be awesome. I think this could really benefit there. What do you think?
I like the Dodger situation very much so. And if that's the case, if you need that extra spot, because I know Jock Peterson can play some first base, which, doesn't upset me very much. They're going to keep Bellinger in the outfield, right? So I think it's definitely a possibility.
Now, let me flip it on the ear. If they go to this universal DH, does it also improve how you feel or change how you feel about certain pitchers now that you know that they're not going to have to bat or stand on the bases at all?
No, it's two different skill sets. I don't, I like grabbing when I'm doing fantasy. I love American League hitters, National League pitchers. Obviously, National League pitchers, they get to face the pitcher right now, so I'll lean towards that. I don't think facing a DH is really going to be that much of an issue for them. I think you'll get like a little bit of a downturn in strikeouts, but overall, I think that they can control a game, and they see enough of these batters because you see so many different double switches that go on in the National League that I think that it'll be okay for them. So I don't think it really changes any of the value for these guys to not have to hit. I just think it just kind of spares them a little bit of extra wear and tear that they don't need.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant, though. Like, Dave Roberts never lets somebody go through the order a third time, pretty much. Do you think that he might start doing that? Do you think that's about them seeing them three times, or do you think that's about being kinder to his pitchers for how much they're being taxed?
I think it's about seeing the offensive lineup for like the third time through. I mean, statistically, it's just proven that the third time through, the advantage tilts to the hitter instead of the pitcher. So I think it might actually help Roberts not micromanage a game so much, and maybe enable him to be a little bit more lenient with his pitchers, that he doesn't have to sit there and constantly
About to ask you about Tyler O'Neill. Dang. All right. Okay, now I have a really great question for you. For those of you who do not know this about Howard Bender, Howard Bender is a big fan of the rom-com. I can't make this up. It's absolutely true. It's adorable and part of what makes him so charming. But I need to know, Howard Bender, and this could be a tough question because I know how much you love them, your top 5 rom-coms. Go.
I mean, it's like asking me what flavor ice cream I love the best and saying that, everything's in play except for rum raisin. Like, all right. Top 5 rom-coms. Do I have to do it in order 1 through 5, or can I just kind of maneuver around?
You can do it however you want. It's your 5 minutes.
When Harry Met Sally has to go down as one of the top 5. I mean,
Love
come
it.
on, Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, even Carrie Fisher and Bruno Kirby as the side pieces there as the friends.
So good.
Brilliant movie, very well done. Changed the face of adult relationships, I thought. So huge fan of that. I mean, Billy Crystal. I'm not even a Meg Ryan fan, but Billy Crystal is so unbelievably funny. All right, so I got to go Love Actually. Love Actually sits in my rotation on a regular basis. When it comes out during the holiday season, I'll put it on the TV and it'll sit on loop and it'll like run right behind me. And I know word for word this movie. I know there's some people who think that the dude with the little signs where he's like, does the Christmas Carol stuff with Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
That maybe it's a little on the creepy side. Maybe it is a little bit on the creepy side, but I mean, listen, the dude's been in love with her for however long. She's obviously been dating his best friend, and it's a tough thing to get over. It really is. And the little kid, come on, the little kid, he's hysterical. I love that kid. All right, so when Harry Met Sally, Love Actually. How about Say Anything? Say Anything from like the 80s, the boombox. Sit there with the boombox with Peter Gabriel playing Lloyd Dobler, one of the most hapless romantic guys out there. He was phenomenal. Dissed in the Malibu, yes, but he comes away with flying colors, and Diane Court. Diane Court falls for him head over heels. So Love Actually, When Harry Met Sally, Say Anything. Is Forgetting Sarah Marshall considered a rom-com, or is that just straight up comedy?
I think that's probably straight up comedy, but that is a really good choice, so I'm going to let it in.
You don't have to if you want to say straight up comedy, because I'm also thinking, is Jerry Maguire a sports movie, or is that a potential rom-com? No,
that's not a rom-com.
All right, The Wedding Singer.
That's a rom-com.
That's a rom-com right there. Please. Adam Sandler's song that he played while he was listening to The Cure for a while, the Somebody Kill Me Please song, that's brilliant. Anything you can get Billy Idol in there, that is brilliant. That movie, absolutely. And then fifth, is Groundhog Day a rom-com?
Yes, I think it is.
I feel like it is. I did a play back in college where we did something very similar. It was a guy and a girl in a cafe, and a bell rang every time the guy said something stupid, and then it immediately had to like start over again to walk away with the girl. So if we can say that Groundhog Day is a rom-com, I'm going to put that on my list because he does get the girl in the end. It is a very funny story. And it's just like beautiful. It's love. It's, oh, yeah.
Plus, you have to have a Bill Murray movie in the top 5 of any kind of comedy because he's just the best. Now, I got to ask you about a few then. Okay, I'm going to go random. So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Ooh, Harriet. Sweet Harriet. So caring, so trusting, so love. And I love it.
I love that one. That one's okay. What about You've Got Mail?
Nah, I'm okay with that one there. I'm okay with You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle.
Sleepless in Seattle? No. Oh, I love Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah, it's the Meg Ryan thing that I just don't dig. She's just not a favorite of mine.
I totally get that. I mean, yeah, I get that. So,
I'd rather go Notting Hill over either one of those.
Notting Hill, very, very good. Yes. There's so many. What's amazing is what romantic you are. I think that what we've learned from this is that if people need a hint on how to be romantic, maybe how to win a lady or what to do, they should consult Howard Bender. Because deep inside, with this salty, crusty exterior, he's actually warm and gooey in there.
Oh, yeah. Is Knocked Up a rom-com? Seth Rogen,
yeah,
Katherine Heigl?
I think it is. Yeah,
you could be a Katherine Heigl film festival with...
Katherine Heigl's done a few. The 26 dresses or whatever that is. 27 dresses. Yeah, she's done a few of those. Sorry. I watch more sports and Howard watches more rom-coms. That's the facts, probably.
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 I'm gonna deny it. I want to
All
know.
right. Last question. This is one I know is near and dear to your heart, Howard. So the XFL, it looks like they're declaring bankruptcy and they're probably not coming back. I know a lot of people are super disappointed, but I want to know, what do you think should take its place?
Should take its place?
Yeah.
How about a paint drying contest, right?
Okay.
We could do like Sherwin Williams versus Benjamin Moore, and see, Benjamin Moore at plus 140 dries at a faster rate. Man, I just did a recording with John and Pemba. We were just having this conversation about the XFL. This is the biggest scam in the world because as it is right now, the governor of Florida has announced that the WWE is essential. And they're going to continue to have WWE events over there. And I'm like, this is the biggest scam in the world. Because what's going on right now, what we saw was the XFL, yeah, they tried to pump it up as much as possible, but the bottom line read that they lost money. That Vince McMahon did not make a ton of money off of the XFL like everybody thought was going to happen. And did we not think that it was awfully suspicious that the XFL said that they were shutting down? Then WrestleMania happened not in front of fans. So Vince gets all the ratings numbers from the WWE network because he puts that out for free, and how many people are going to want to end up subscribing to the WWE network after that for $10 a month. So he sees those numbers. He says, screw it. I'll pull the plug on the XFL. We'll file for bankruptcy. I won't lose any more money on that project at all, which was a loser from the get-go because the talent level sucked, because it was no better than it was exactly like the AAF. It really was. So now all of a sudden, he shuts down the XFL for good. He files for bankruptcy. It's never coming back. And oh, look at that. Now all of a sudden, somebody's pockets just got lined in the state of Florida, and a mayor and a governor have now declared that the WWE is essential and everybody's allowed to do that. So now Vince McMahon ends up making a buttload of money off of the WWE because, let's face it, it's the only game in town right now. We have to wait until other sports, it's not even sports, it's sports entertainment. But I mean, this is what a ton of people are going to turn to. Football fans, wrestling fans, people just craving sports in general. They're going to turn to this whole thing. And Vince McMahon is going to make so much freaking money off of it that, throwing a couple of million in a duffel bag in cash to the governor of Florida or to the mayor of Orange County, wherever Orlando is, I think that's what's going on right now. And I absolutely refuse to endorse it, and I don't think anything should replace the XFL. You can't have springtime football. You can't do it. It doesn't work. I think Fenty had a better idea of changing around the NBA season, having the NBA starting at Christmas time and carrying you through the rest of football and well into Major League Baseball. So nothing. Forget it.
I like that idea too, about the NBA starting at Christmas and carrying you through so that you have some kind of a year-round sports schedule. What about this horse tournament? Did you watch it?
I nodded off about 3/4 of the way through Trae Young's I'm way too high to make any of these shots right now kind of thing going on.
That was some of the worst TV I've ever seen. But you know what? I think probably a lot of people were betting on it because it was the only sports on TV, which just, says your theory about WWE. Yeah, it's the only game in town. Oh, what are you going to do?
So desperate. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, do you think that it's better for us to go ahead and bring sports back early, even if there's nobody in the stands, just because we need it so badly, even if we're just watching it on TV?
If we have the proper testing and if all the players agree, I was talking to Austin Meadows on the Fantasy Alarm Show, and he just had a baby. Or his wife just had a baby, but it's the two of them, and he's got all this time now. He doesn't want to be locked up and quarantined for 4.5 months in Arizona playing while his wife and kid are across the country. He wants them to come with him. So if MLB can really, if any sport can work it out, no fans, ensure that there is regular, safe testing, that it's all legitimately done, then I'm in favor of it. Like golf is talking about starting up in mid-June without spectators. I'm sure tennis is probably going to work out something like that as well. So, yeah, I think it's something that can happen, but I don't think we should be pushing it. We can't be sitting here as a society saying we're so desperate for sports entertainment right now.
Sorry, that was your buzzer.
That
was very ladylike
buzzer. That was
That was awesome. So what did we learn here, folks? We learned that Howard Bender is not okay with people talking politics and religion at a bar, but he loves the movie Love Actually. By the way, I think one of my favorite parts, or the part that gets me the most, even though it's not like necessarily the good part, was the part where Emma Thompson sees him buying the gift for the other girl. And then later when she unwraps her gift and it's not what she thought he was buying it for her, and he bought it for her. I bawl at that. Like,
it's a tough moment for her. She warned him like 3 times in that movie.
Anyway, we can talk about this later, but we learned that you do not believe in the XFL. You are not a fan of Vince McMahon. And I loved your picks for the DH upgrades. Jonas Cespedes is a good one. And Herbert could be taken by the Chargers after a trade up with the Detroit Lions. That's the hot take from Howard Bender. I hope we get to do this again, Howard. Are you up for it?
Of course I'm up for it. No doubt.
Awesome. Okay, you guys, that was another edition of 5 on 5. Tune in again tomorrow at 3:00. We'll have something dropping. It might be sports talk. It might be 5 on 5. It could be, I don't know, another diatribe on rom-coms and musicals. Because that's where we are right now. All right, you guys, wash your hands. Stay safe. We'll catch you next time.